think we're live. Hi, this is Rochelle King, lead educator for Donald Scott NYC. So I placed you guys so you can see me do some hair cutting, and we are going to be using the carving comb, and we're going to be using the carving comb fine, but I also want to show you guys the carving comb wide. And this is one of those things that so many people want to know what's the difference in the two. Tools are exactly the same. There's just a fine tooth and a wide tooth. But before I begin cutting with my tool, I'm actually going to change my blade. So let me start with that. When you take off your T-top, we remove the T-top. We're going to remove both of the blades right from the inside. Take these blades out. Hopefully you can hear me all right. We're finishing up in the salon. We've actually been working all day. So I'm going to use a tint brush to clean out all the hair. What's really important about cleaning out that hair is the teeth on the carving comb are actually meant for the hair to go into it. So many times when we're using traditional razors, we have to kind of chase after the hair. With the carving comb, one of the key benefits is you're going to carve straight to where you're wanting to go. So just so you're kind of used to that, it's going to be one continuous carve. You're going to be able to etch that out. So I see that we're getting some likes. If anyone has any questions, please join in. We're going to put in left blade first and then the right blade. And why that is so important for you guys is if we don't do a left blade, then a right blade, actually the blades won't lay properly and you won't get full use of them. So that's just a little side note for you. But if anyone has any questions during this little time that we're together, it's going to be about 30 minutes. What we're going to be doing next is we're going to use a product called Prepare. It's the newest in the Donald Scott family. And what it actually does is it prepares the hair so that the razor can glide right through. So many times you probably can hear me better. We were blow drying, but so when we use Prepare, we actually get the hair in a situation that we can do dry cutting. So with razor artistry, so many times we hear that we can't use a razor on dry hair, curly hair, but today we're going to be using a razor on extensions. And the first thing that we're going to be using is the 100% side. So let me go ahead, get Mary's hair prepared for us, and you guys can join in anytime. All right, I think we can see everything. Oh, nice, Mary. So let me tell you a little bit about Mary. Mary has been my girlfriend since, I think, the 8th grade. Is that when we started being girlfriends? We were cheerleaders together. Yes, they let me cheer. And I had to keep an eye on her because some of the kids weren't as nice as me. But, so we are now probably 25 years out of high school, so we have a 30-year friendship. So let's jump into our carving comb. And really what I'm going to do with this is I don't want Mary's hair to be super long with her extensions. And we're actually using a brand called Platinum Seamless. And they were nice enough to donate the hair so that I could use the Donald Scott carving comb on that. So thank you, Platinum Seamless. And what we're going to be doing with Mary's own hair is I'm actually going to back comb it so that I don't take it any shorter. And then I'm going to use the 100% side and I'm going to carve straight to where I want to go so that that blends in. So Mary wants a little length, but she wants mostly to have extra volume in her hair. So that's what we're trying to achieve. And what I'm going to do next is take another section and bring it into that. And I prepared that whole section and I'm just going to carve right into it. One of the easiest ways to take off a little bit of length is just to do a little bit of a pinch grip, and we'll be able to take off those edges. Let's take a little peek here. I see you're watching, Jana! So yeah, we're just literally going to take off some of that length, but one of the greatest things to notice when you're using a razor on the extensions, it already has that nice organic feel. So many times, you know, the key part to getting a nice blended haircut is having that, the right tool. And we're able to get that right tool by using the Donald Scott carving comb. And again, spraying on a little bit of Prepare. You can see that it's a really nice light oil that's going to actually get the hair so that my razor doesn't pull or drag. Back to using the pinch grip. If you can see my 2 fingers, using the 100% carve, taking off that hair, giving her a nice little lived-in look. I'm going to do that again. You're going to make sure your section's small enough. Love that blade. Me too, Jana. I love that Jana's our biggest fan. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of layers in her hair. Again, back combing her hair so that I don't cut her own hair shorter. Carving straight through.
I think that will work for us. Can you just double check?
I'm going to bring her up just a little bit more.
Yep.
I'm going to take your hydraulic up so everyone can see that bottom length coming off a little bit more. Take care. Last guest out of the salon. Now it's just us. So hairdresser to hairdresser, you guys, I really do feel that the Donald Scott tool makes a huge difference. What's really great about that is if I wanted to go ahead and use some shears alongside this, Donald invented this tool out of truly out of a tool that was definitely a necessity. So many times we cut with just shears, and Donald wanted to be able to give that textured look, have that little bit more organic feel, but not having to run back and forth in the salons. And I think so many times as a stylist, end of the day, we're exhausted. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been at this since 9 in the morning. So I've worked all day. I've had some fun doing different things. But the best thing is I'm still able to continue my journey because I'm using the right tools, and that would be the Donald Scott tools, and using the right product to get me started, which was Prepare. So just a little back history on Donald. I think that a gentleman that was raised doing Vidal Sassoon artistry, and then he's the inventor of a carving comb. And so many times we think of razors, we think of a tool that doesn't give us blending, or we have no consistency. So really what I want you guys taken away from using this tool is the ability to create a full haircut. We're gonna go ahead, back comb our own hair, bringing that straight out and carving straight through that. Still using the 100% side of her blade so that we can actually put those layers in, but don't take our hair any shorter. Again, back combing, making sure that we get all those extensions to have a nice layer, and then carving straight down through that. Again, Mary's goal really isn't to have really long hair. Her goal is to have that volume. So that's what we're able to create, is a nice volume textured haircut. She doesn't want anyone really knowing that she has extensions. And that to me is the best way to get that accomplished, is going through, doing that little pinch cut on the ends, giving it that little bit of texture, but then blending it through. So hopefully this is helpful for a few people. Just in case you guys are from the Cleveland area and you're joining in, hopefully you're going to be joining me down in Columbus. Me and Donald are actually going to be there together. We're going to be doing the Beauty Classic Hair Show. We've done it about 6 or 7 years together, and we're going to be in classroom. We're going to be answering a lot of people's questions, but Columbus this weekend, the Columbus Convention Center, Donald Scott and I will be up on stage demonstrating some hair cutting, some men's cutting, using all of Donald's tools. I'll be using the DSX4. But today we're really focused on the carving comb, and I did choose to use the carving comb fine. So just in case you joined in on this and you're wondering what it is, this is the carving comb. We're using the 100% side, and this is the channeling side. So let's kind of keep continuing with our haircut on Mary. Got to get some interaction if we're going to make it 30 minutes, people. I can only talk to myself for so long, so I need some people that want me to talk to them. How do you feel about that, Mary?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's the longest conversation. Oh boy. We'll watch this later and they'll be like, that girl's crazy. Let's get a little bit more Prepare. What I want you guys thinking also is Prepare can be used on wet or dry hair. It does not need to be rinsed out afterwards. So many times when we use like a product to kind of get that slip or that glide, it might become too heavy. You will not get that with Prepare. So you'll be able to go through your whole haircut, finish it out. It's really great on naturally curly hair. It actually will give you a really smooth blowout. So it can be used as a styling tool alongside as using as a cutting tool. Do you like I scrunch down? I'm here. Do you have a carving home?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, good girl. Talking to team members, they're watching also. How short was her hair to start with? Her hair is about there. So we're adding about 4 or 5 inches. So again, I might take a little bit more off doing a couple different techniques, but she really, she's worn extensions with me in the past, and what she really likes is that volume. She's got that fine fabric. Right now she didn't want to go through and add any more highlights, so we actually did a high and a low for her tape-in extensions just to keep the dimension and kind of match it up. She's going to come back right before the holidays. We'll take out these extensions, do her color, put in a new set, and match it up. So that's what we did prior to Mary coming in. I kind of made some decisions on which colors to get. So when I go through and bring the extension up to put in her layering, that's why I push it backwards, so that I push her own hair out of the way and I don't cut it, and then I can go through and layer the extension. So many times we don't know, you know, a guest that's wanting extensions doesn't really want a haircut. So that's just a little added benefit, and it also takes a little bit of the bulk out of the extension, so it doesn't look, I hate to say this, mullety, Joe Dirtish. We want it to definitely look natural, and like I said, Mary's a mom and she's running around doing a bunch of things with her kids, so she wants it to look natural as possible. So that's really what the goal is. And once we've cut this back, I'm actually going to turn her so we can start playing around with how it'll look towards her face and give her some fringe. So let's turn Mary so you can see her. And I'm going to bring this up and around. Again, back combing it. And now I'm going to switch and use actually the channeling side. So the channeling side will just take out a little of that bulk. You can see that I do one continuous carve, and that can remove up to 50% of the hair. And that just gives her a really nice face framing layers. We're going to go ahead and do the other side.
So the key is really back combing, Rochelle, the natural hair.
Yeah,
Okay.
So the key is really the back combing of the natural hair so that I don't cut that any shorter, right? Because I really want to leave that length, and then I'm just going through and cutting the extensions. And by using a razor, I'm actually, you could see the difference, like those edges are a little bit more frayed and kind of lived in, instead of using scissors and then we're trying to point cut it, then this gets really skinny, but this kind of makes everything blend in. So definitely I feel best for razors, for extensions, is razor cutting. And knowing that we can always go back and take a little more, but when you look at that, you don't even see a starting point or a stopping point.
No, it's smooth,
And
seamless.
that's really great. The team member that's watching, that's here live, that's incredible. Very well blended. Thanks. Don't mind, I'm getting older. My 40s have just led to me being like, I can barely see that small print. This Facebook and live stuff will do it to you. If you're coming to Columbus, I promise I'll be the same way there.
Can I ask you one more question while
Of course.
you're doing this?
Do you want to come over here so they can they can see that I do have a team member?
Hello.
You gotta get closer. This is Marla. Marla's one of my team members here at a White Pond Paradise in Fairlawn in Akron. And she's certifying to start doing the extensions here in the salon, and I'm teaching her how to blend them. So don't tell me how you love me. I love you too. So what was your question?
I was doing my haircut, so I kind of stepped in halfway through. How did you determine where you were going to start carving with the comb once you back comb?
Okay, so that's a great question. So what did I determine from the beginning? And me and Mary had a consultation, and in that is her front, this is her own hair. So I wanted everything to blend from that. So like if she wants to wear it straight, it'll all blend down and she won't have like a drop off point. So her front length was my determination, and then I just glide it through that to kind of make a C shape.
Okay.
And once I created that little concave C, I just followed that all the way around, and that's kind of determined it. So, you know, we wanted some length. She didn't come in here and get a head of extensions put in to have the exact same length, but we didn't want anything more than a couple of inches. She has four children at home? Five children at home. So she doesn't have a lot of time for the upkeep or the maintenance of long extensions, but she's got like 9 strands of hair on her head. And when you get in your 40s, we want to look younger, and the best way to look younger is to have healthy, thicker hair. So that's what we're able to accomplish with our extensions. But okay, so what do we got on there? Somebody, beautiful work. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. That's what we do with Donald Scott. And that's what we do in our family as hairdressers. I think we're so blessed, you know. Everyone always says to me, they're like, oh, you're so happy. I said, well, I do the best thing ever. I make people feel beautiful, look beautiful, and hopefully inspire other stylists to follow their dreams. So let's back comb again. I might have a little too big of a section, so I want to leave that front one because it's already thin enough. Let's go through and back comb so we don't cut her own hair. And you can see it's kind of fallen away. So once we back comb that, I'm going to use the channeling side again, get enough pressure, and then I'm just going to go through and take out that weight. And I think that on extensions is so important, is you can actually see how seamless. So let me pick up my little iPad, bring it on in. Let's see if you guys can see Mary's hair. And really gliding through with that carving comb. There is no starting or stopping point, so that razor artistry just works out perfectly. So let me make sure everybody's good. I'm going to put you back down. Oh, Jana said hi to you. I love that we got more people joining in. So I want to do a different technique, and I think this also brings a lot of great energy to your guests. And I've actually had guests that will make referrals to me, and it's our refined point cutting. And that, to me, it's really nice just to kind of break up that very ends of the hair. So we're going to go through this midsection. I'm going to bring it straight out from her head. And once my hands are parallel, I'm going to go back and forth. So you can see that I'm able to give that little bit of texture and movement. Again, bringing it straight out. And we're going to go back and forth. Now the carving comb needs to go the same way that your fingers are. So it's back and forth in that direction. If you go this way, you're going to have highs and lows. So if you go opposite of your finger positioning, that's not the way we recommend it. We recommend it the same way. I want you to think the fact that you're almost like dealing cards, right? So your wrist is a little bit looser than normal, and your tension is always kept. So let's go through and show that again. Bringing that straight out and up.
What side of the comb are you using?
I'm using both sides of the comb. So both sides of the carving comb are touching Mary's hair. I just want to kind of get these little pieces. I'm going to do a little pinch cutting, and I'm going to use only the carving side right now. Turning it from from Jackson, Mississippi. I was just down in Nashville. Your weather's good. I wish I was. I like Ohio though, so I'm not going to lie. I like the change of leaves. But thank you for joining us. Hopefully you have a carving comb, Scott. So if you have any questions about your tool, please ask them. But thank you for joining in. It's my first time Facebook Living with these guys. I do that just for fun in my own salon. Taking a little bit more off of that. I just felt like it needed a little bit more refining. In the pinch grip, if you're not sure how to do it, pinch one of your teammates. Remember how you give a good old pinch. You got to use that kind of tension instead of fingers straight across. It's definitely a pinch. Oh, thanks, Jen. It's one of my favorite techniques. I'm trying to do as good as I can, girlfriend. She says we're doing good. We're doing good. Just taking a little off of those edges. It's like raining here. So we've spent all this time using the carving comb, and this has been the fine. So just for new people that are joining in and you might use a different tool or wonder about other things that we have, there is also the carving comb wide. Same exact tool on the top. The difference is the width of the comb. And what that's going to be determined by is if this is naturally curly or really thick hair, you are going to be using the wide tooth comb. If the hair is a little bit more finer fabric or straight hair, we'd actually recommend that you use the fine tooth comb. And again, I did choose our Prepare, so let me get you a little viewing of the Prepare so that you can see this is the Donald Scott liquid that you would want to be using. And what that does is it can be used on wet or dry hair, depending on what you're after, your end results. You're going to decide how you're going to do this. So hopefully we get a few people that are watching that are going to be viewing us or coming to see us in Columbus. All of our tools are going to be available there. We'll actually have some mannequins set up so people that want to try it out can actually join in, try the tools with us. So let me just kind of do a few more magical tricks with Mary, but she's pretty much done with her haircut. I don't want to take all of her length off because our end goal was to have some more, but she did say that I was open to do a few things, and she hasn't had the front of her hair trimmed up in a while. So I'm going to actually clean up her natural hair, her natural fringe. And all I'm going to do is take the front section, do a little bit of over direction, have my fingertips parallel to her nose, and I'm going to take my 100% carve, and I'm going to carve straight down to my fingers. And you'll see that I just removed about 1 inch of her hair, all in one continuous carve. And that's going to help her hair fall over to the side and give her a little bit more openness to it. So now to match that, I'm actually going to take this small little section. I got to cross my body over. I got to get my fingers parallel to her nose again, and I'm going to carve straight down. Now, note to self, with any razor, the amount of tension that you put on the hair is how much hair you're going to take off. So I wanted a nice soft glide, and that's what I was able to get with Mary. So that is the carving comb used on natural hair to create a fringe, and that is the carving comb used on extensions to create layering. And we've done a few different techniques for you guys. So we're only at 20 minutes, but I think I've almost wrapped it all up. Is there anyone out there that has any questions or comments or thoughts that they want before I wrap this up? And thank you for joining us for Donald Scott Carving Comb Razor Artistry. Have a great night. I'm going to wait a couple more seconds and kind of see if anyone joins in, but a lot of us, I bet, are still in the salons doing exactly what we do, and that's making people beautiful. So thank you for the likes and your time, and hopefully you can join in watching more of the Donald Scott videos in the future. Thanks so much.